We have UFC 326 this Saturday. I'm going to be breaking down every single fight on the card with my predictions and break down who I think wins and how they get it done. I'm not going to waste any time. Let's get into the first fight of the night. For the first fight, we have Luke Fernandez versus Bilardo. Luke Fernandez, on the feet, he likes to use a 1-2 down the middle or just a lead hook. He likes to pressure you against the fence, and if he does get you against the fence, he is going to just grind for the takedown. And when he gets the takedown, he's going to look for mainly ground and pound, and if a submission shows itself, he will go for it. He is not the greatest wrestler, which kind of holds him back since he tends to use it a lot. And on the other hand, Fernandez's defense is pretty good. He likes to keep his distance and he does slip well with punches. On the other hand, Bilardo, this guy is just like a Terminator. He kind of just walks forward, zero defense whatsoever on this guy's side, no head movement, and he does not really have a high guard. So 1-2 shots, I think Luke Fernandez is going to be able to land quite often in this matchup. But Bilardo, he likes to push forward. If he gets you, he likes to shoot double legs. If he gets you against the fence, he's just kind of look for anything he can pretty much throw at you, whether that's knees, elbows, or just start spamming hooks. If he gets you against the fence, that's pretty much what he's going to try and do. He's kind of just he is quite of an entertaining fighter because you never know what's going to happen in a Bilardo fight. But I think Luke Fernandez is going to be able to knock him out here. I just think Bilardo has quite literally no defense on the feet, no head movement. He is like Malarkey 2.0. So, and he's taking a lot of damage, like the Paul Craig up kick, that Jimmy Crute. He was almost knocked out. I don't know how he was able to survive that, but he has been knocked out twice by Victor Petrino. So I am going to lean on Luke Fernandez to get the stoppage here on the feet. I think that 1-2 he has is going to be able to find a home against Blotto with someone that has like no head movement and his head is just on the center line all the time. I think Fernandez is going to be able to counter well or just be the faster fighter. So in this matchup, give me Luke Fernandez, and I think he's going to get the knockout over Rodolfo Bellato. And then we have Gaston Bolanos taking on Ji Young Lee. Ji Young Lee, this guy is quite well rounded. He blasts very hard leg kicks. He likes to use combos. One of his favorites is head body head, which he uses a lot. His takedown defense is okay. It's pretty solid against the fence, but in the middle of the cage, it's not the greatest. But I don't think that's gonna be a worry in this fight against someone like Bolaños. The one thing about Ji Young Lee is this guy's fight IQ is very, very bad. Like Hyder Emil, the one thing he was not supposed to do was brawl with Hyder Emil, and in the first 5 seconds, he's brawling with Hyder Emil and gets knocked out. On the other side, Gaston Bolaños. This guy's like a pure Muay Thai point striker that just moved into MMA, which doesn't always correlate the best as it's shown. I think he's 1-2 in the UFC, but he likes to throw combos. He throws kicks a lot, but they're not very powerful. His strikes aren't that powerful either. He's literally just like a point fighter, just trying to win the rounds. He does have questionable ground game, as we've seen. He just got submitted in his last fight against Kwang Lee, I think it was, where he did not look good on the round. He went to sleep. His defense is usually just puts his hands up and just circles out of the way, which does not work the best in MMA compared to kickboxing, where you have like the bigger gloves because you can just throw around the guard in the MMA. I'm I really don't know who to go here. I can't trust Ji Young Lee that much with his fight IQ, and then I have to go. I can't really trust Bolanos as well, but I'm gonna go Bolanos. I'm really not confident in this fight. I just feel like if I go Lee, he's gonna fight like he has room temperature IQ, and then if I go Bolanos, he's just gonna get out grappled. Lee doesn't really hunt for the finishes on the ground as much. He just does enough work to not get stood up by the ref. But I mean, I'm gonna take Bolanos here. I just think Lee might make a questionable decision in there and just strike with Bolaños and just lose. So, but like this is very low confidence. But give me Bolaños in this fight. Then we go to Rafael Tobias taking on Dier Nogajai. He is a patient striker. He likes to use his calf kick and teeps to manage distance. And he is very heavy handed. Like he presents real knockout power. But that sacrifices speed. This guy is a very stiff and slow fighter when watching him on the feet. His resume does have a lot of knockouts. Majority of those do come from ground and pound. And if he goes for the takedown and gets a takedown, he is looking to finish the fight as quick as possible on the ground. If you give up your back, he is just going to go for the choke. And if not, he's just going to land heavy ground and pound. On the other side, Dier Nurgajai, this guy quite literally has two strikes that he throws on the feet. Like 90% of what he throws is either left high kick or left hand. That's pretty much what it is. And he can go for takedowns. He likes to go for double legs when he does, but this guy is absolutely atrocious on the ground. This guy got submitted by a Kimura against Brenson Ribeiro, which is astonishing to lose like that against someone like that, and got submitted by Ezekiel Choke in his last fight. If the fight goes to the floor, Tobias is going to finish him, I think, with ease. But there is a possibility where Nurkjai just has a speed difference and catches Tobias with a left high kick or heavy left hand. But I'm gonna trust Tobias to not get caught in the feet and go for the takedowns. And I think if he gets a takedown, it is gonna be over. So I'm gonna take Tobias here by knockout or submission. Then we have Sumudaerji take down Jesus Aguilar. Sumudaerji is a long range striker who focuses mainly on point fighting. He primarily uses his jabs and round kicks from a distance while constantly moving along the outside, keeping his range. And early in the fight, he will throw low crosses, but as he gets his timing, he kind of gets more comfortable and will start to throw the 1-2. His defense really mainly relies on maintaining his range and the threat of his powers, and sometimes he does utilize a high guard, but if you get in the pocket with him, he's definitely hittable. Aguilar, on the other hand, this guy either likes to be very far away from you or very close from you since he has like a 62-inch reach advantage while Sumidachi has a 72-inch reach advantage. He is a decent wrestler. He does hold power. I think it's just because how small his arms are. He just generates more strength or something. I don't know. But if this fight goes to the floor, 90% of what he's looking for is to look for the guillotine. If he gets any second of he thinks he can lock it up, he is going to go for the guillotine 99% of the time. That can be a worry with Sumudaerji's submission kryptonite, where he has been submitted, I think, like more than 5 times. But I think this is a fight where many people are going to take Aguilar with with his submission threat, and they're thinking, oh, he's just going to submit Sumudaerji. But I think that's where people are going to get wrong, and that's why I'm going to go with Sumudaerji. I think he's going to be able to utilize his range, 10-inch reach advantage. I think he is improving fight to fight, especially his grappling. So I'm going to go Sumudaerji here. I think it's going to be decision. I don't really see him knocking out Aguilar, so just give me Sumudaerji in this matchup. And then we have Cody Durden taking on Tumen Demirel. Cody Durden, he is a pace-oriented fighter. He is he's like a pressure boxer who just kind of walks his opponent down. He walks his opponents down. He has a decent jab and overhand right as his primary power shot, but sometimes he can fall off balance when throwing it. His defense is not great at all. He kind of just ducks his head down and gets very hittable under when he's pressured. And recently, he has a tendency just to gas out. I don't know what happened. If it's his training camp or something, but his cardio is just on the decline. And when he does get the fight to the ground, it's not like he can hold his opponent there, so they kind of just get up right away, and he just has to repeat the process all over again. And he has probably one of the worst chins in UFC. For Cody Durden to win this fight, I think he's gonna have to fight like a perfect 15 minutes and not make any mistakes. Because I think if he does make a mistake, gets dropped or something, he is going to get finished. Tumen Dembrel, this guy, he's an okay striker. He does have power, but when the fight goes to the floor, this guy's looking for the submission at like any given moment. Any given moment, like you could be half unconscious and he'll still go for the submission. He chases it. He has a good front headlock position, and he is good at the rear naked choke. So I'm gonna take Tumen Dembrel here. I just think Cody Durden is washed. He's like 1-4 or something in his last 5 fights. and he has been finished quite a bit, and his chin is gone. So I think Tumen Dembro does land something clean on him and drops him or wobbles him, he's gonna be able to get the fight to the floor, or if he knocks him down, he's just gonna jump on a submission right away. So I'm gonna take Tumen Dembro in this matchup. I think he's gonna win inside the distance against someone like Cody Durden. Next up, we have Ricky Turcios taking on Alberto Montez. Ricky Turcios, this guy is a decent grappler fairly. He had his moments against Raul Rosa Jr. where he had his back, but he did get choked out in that fight. On the feet, this guy quite literally just throws anything at any time, kicks, spinning back kicks. He's kind of calm and like flowy on the feet. You don't really know what he's gonna throw next. And I think he is moving up here. I'm not sure why. And it's not like he's been preparing for this moving up a weight class because he was supposed to fight Cameron Smotherman, I think maybe a month and a half ago, and he's just moving up, which I don't think is the best idea. Alberto Montes, on the other hand, this guy specializes in the Darce and Anaconda chokes. Like this guy is a specialist at it. If you go for any type of takedown on this guy, he is going to look to set it up. If you have him against the cage held up, he is going to look for it at any given moment. The issue I have with that is it's not like a high percentage sub, so he does tend to gas himself out sometimes. Like on the contender series, he did start to slow down a little bit, but he was able to get the I can't remember if it's Anaconda or Dart, so I'm gonna say Anaconda choke. But this guy is quite literally a specialist with those Darce front headlock chokes. He even went for a Peruvian necktie on the contender series. But I'm gonna take Alberto Montes here. I just think if Ricky does engage in any type of grappling scenario, I think Montez is gonna be much stronger than him. And Turkios does kind of like a long, lengthy arms and a long neck, which I think is gonna help Montez with the submission. So I think just when the fight does get to the mat, because I think it will on either side, if Ricky shoots a takedown or Montez gets him down, I think Montez is just gonna jump like right away on a Darce, Anaconda, just anything. So I'm going to take Montez by a Darce choke in this matchup. Then we have Dante Johnson taking on Cody Brundage. Dante Johnson is just a heavy hander. He is quite big for the division. We saw in his last fight against Cedric Dumas where he was using some of his wrestling, gained some big slams on Cedric Dumas, and got a guillotine choke where Dumas got his hand ready to tap before the submission was even in. So Dumas is not a great fighter at all. So I don't really rate that win at all. He got a win on the contender series this season, and I think he fought at heavyweight in this matchup. Yeah, he fought at heavyweight, and he's in middleweight, so that he's a big guy. On the other hand, Cody Brundage, you don't really know what you're gonna get from him. He likes to brawl. He's pretty much kill or be killed. He either finishes someone or just gets finished himself. He is a decent wrestler. When he gets the foot to the floor, he is just looking for like ground and pound. He has been stopped in the first round twice, both by knockout, and his recent performances getting knocked out by Cam Rouston in the second round, a split decision loss to Eric McConico. He got that win over Julian Marquez, where that was a really back and forth fight. Julian Marquez almost got him out of there. But Brundage is pretty much just looking for overhand right just to knock you out. That's pretty much he's not going to win like a point fight decision or anything. So I'm going to go with Dante Johnson. I just think he is going to be the heavy hitter, and I think if he lands like a clean 1-2 down the middle or a clean hook, I think Brundage is going to get put out. So give me Dante Johnson this matchup. Fairly confident against someone like Cody Brundage. And then we have an interesting matchup between Cody Garbrandt and Long Zhao. Cody Garbrandt, he former champion, great boxing, good wrestling. He's fast. He does tend to slow down a little bit. Knockout power with 11 wins by knockout. It's just he's getting up there in age. He's a lot of miles on the car. Like he's been in the UFC for so long. Only 30. He's 34, which is a little bit on the older side of this division. And recent matchups are not going. Recent fights, let's just say, not going his way. Losing to Ronnie Barcelos. He did win the first round. Submitted against Davison Figueiredo. His striking did look good in that first round. Knocked out Brian Kelleher, but I mean, that's not that great. Decision win against Trevin Jones. Knocked out by Carter France. Knocked out by Pedro Munez. TJ Dillashaw. TJ Dillashaw getting knocked out. He has been knocked out 4 times, 3 of them in the first round. He is a slick boxer, good footwork, and he's very fast on the feet. On the other side, Long Zhao, he is fairly new to the UFC. This is his fourth fight. He's 1-2, losing to Su Young Yu, which I don't think is a bad loss at all. I think he's very good, and he does have a very good ground game, Su Young Yu. And he's 3-0 in the UFC, so that's not a terrible loss, I guess you could say. And then Cheng Ho Lee, on the other hand, who beat Long Zhao, lost at Timmy Kwamba. That one's not a great loss. This one's hard to see because we don't know what version of Cody Garbrandt we're gonna get. Like, he's fighting like once a year. Is he really committed? And I think Long Zhao is just gonna be more committed. Long Zhao is not the best on the feet. He does have quite a bit of submissions, 9 submission wins, but he is mainly decision guy with 13 wins by decision and only 5 by knockout. And I'm gonna go with Long Zhao. I think he's gonna be able to keep up the pace for most of the fight and just win a decision against Cody Garbrandt. I think he's gonna get the takedowns. I think he may lose some exchanges on the feet, but I think he's gonna make up for that on the ground. But low confidence. A lot of people are going on Cody Garbrandt, and he is a bit of an underdog in this matchup. So I am gonna go with Long Zhao, but medium confidence, I guess. Okay, then we have Gregory Rodriguez versus Bruno Ferreira. This is a rematch. Ferreira knocked him out cold in the first fight in the first round. But since then, Rodriguez, he's racked up some wins against Dennis Tululin, Brad Tavares, Christian Leroy Duncan, Jack Hermanson, and Roman Kopylov. And he did get knocked out against Jared Cannonier, but he was landing heavy shots early on, dropping Cannonier a few times. And he has been a lot more patient and conservative of his energy recently, I find, especially in the Kopylov fight. Like, he maintained his pace and got a decision win. He was getting taken down by Kopylov, which, I mean, that's fine. I don't think Bruno is going to look to wrestle here. Heavy hands on the side of Rodriguez. Huge. He has a very good left hook. We saw against Jack Manson. I think he killed him in that fight. Not actually, but. And high level jiu-jitsu on the side of Gregory Rodriguez. On the other side, Bruno Ferreira, this guy's a brawler. He just got his first decision win against Marvin Vettori. He did weigh 4 pounds over the limit, which I do think helped him with his cardio, not having to cut those final 4 pounds. But he's on a 3-fight win streak, getting an armbar against Arm Petrosian, Jackson McVeigh, spinning elbow against Justin Solfis, and knockout over Phil Hawes. He did lose to Abus Magomedov, who's known for getting gassed out. I'm going to take Bruno here. He doesn't have the grappling advantage in this fight, but I think Rodriguez, I don't know. I feel like he's one of those fighters where he's going to be a little timid because he has felt the power of Bruno Ferreira. I think he's going to be a little more shy in this fight. I just think it's going to be, I think Bruno Ferreira is going to be mentally stronger knowing he has beat this man before. And that is why I'm going to take Bruno Ferreira. He is slightly of an underdog, but I just feel mentally Gregory Rodriguez is going into this fight knowing he can get knocked out. He has been knocked out against the guy before. He's going to be a little timid, and I think he's going to be scared on the feet, maybe a little low input or output, sorry. So I'm going to take Bruno Ferreira in this matchup. And I don't really know how he's going to win. He really could knock out Gregory Rodriguez before. We have seen Rodriguez knocked out a handful of times. Yeah, 4 times. But give me Bruno Ferreira in this matchup. Then we have a wild fight between Drew Dober and Michael Johnson. Drew Dober, heavy hitter. He does have a concrete chin, but it has been cracked with 4 knockout losses. But he is known for taking a lot of damage. He just got a bounce back win against Kyle Prepolek, which is kind of controversial because he did kick him in the nuts quite blatantly, and it looked very obvious, so he can get some energy back. But before that, got destroyed by Manuel Torres, got beaten up by Gene Silva. Moicano got a decision over him. And if you know what I mean, Drew Dober is known to win these type of fights. If you get that reference, you get it. But I think that's going to end here. I'm going to go with Michael Johnson. Michael Johnson, he has been performing very well. He is on a 3-fight win streak. These ones are against Darius Flowers, Ottomans Azatar, and Daniel Zalhuber, Zalhuber has shown that he is not UFC level. But I'm just gonna go with Michael Johnson. I think he's gonna be quicker on the feet. I think the 1-2 is gonna land for against Dober, and maybe you can knock out Drew Dober. I'm not sure. This is a low confident fight as well, but I'm gonna just go Michael Johnson. I think he's gonna be quicker on the feet. We know Dober is known to come back against fights, heavy hands, but I think Michael Johnson's in the bigger octagon. He's gonna be keeping his distance, landing jab 1-2. So I'm gonna go with Michael Johnson's matchup. A little low confidence though. Then we have Rob Font taking Royal Rosa Jr. This is an interesting matchup. Rob Font he's 38 on the end of his career a little bit, and coming off loss against David Martinez, split decision win over Gene Matsumoto, which is a very close fight. Again, a bounce back win after losing the first round against Kyler Phillips. But he was taken down by Santagan and Figueiredo, lost to Marlon Vera. Rob Font is a great kickboxer. That's where he likes to fight. He does not have the best takedown defense. I think it's at like a 41%. And Kyler Phillips was taking him down a lot in that first round. Gene Matsumoto, I think, got a few takedowns, maybe 6 takedowns on him, I think it was. But I just think while Rosas Jr. on the other hand, this kid's very young. I think he's going to be massively improving every single fight, especially at his age. He's has good jiu-jitsu, some nice takedowns. His striking is not the best. He was in some trouble on the ground against Vince Morales, but Vince Morales brings like an awkward submission threat where he likes to go for Peruvian neckties and all this stuff, which you don't really see and you will never see against from a guy like Rob Font. Dominated Rick Golang, I definitely said that wrong, and submitted Ricky Tokios, although Tokios took his back, but Morales was able to get out. And I just think Rosas Jr. is gonna be able to get the takedowns against someone like Rob Font with 41% takedown defense. And I think Rosas Jr. is more submission. I mean, sorry, just oh my gosh, what is it? Like he doesn't chase the finishes on the ground. He's more oh, that's what it is. Position over submission. That's I don't know why I couldn't get that in my head. But I'm gonna take Raul Rosa Jr. Just think takedowns, control times, ground and pound. If he's not able to get the takedowns against Rob Font, this matchup is going to be very, very interesting if it stays on the feet. But I think Raul Rosa Jr. is going to be able to get the takedowns. So give me Rosa Jr. by decision or maybe a submission. Then we have Kyle Barallo taking on Renier de Ritter. Carballo, very well-rounded fighter, trained with the Fighting Nerds. He is quite big for the division, very muscular, 33 years of age. He's in a good, almost prime aged, very well-rounded, some knockouts, some submissions. He has a ground game. He did lose to Nasruddin Imavov, but I think Imavov is one of the best strikers in this division. He beat Brendan Allen in a grappling matchup quite convincingly, which I think is very good to see. But before that, beat Cannonier. That was a close fight until the fifth round. Barolo knocked him down. Paul Craig just knocked him out. On the other side, Renier de Ritter, very grappling heavy, very nice knees to the body. He has 14 wins by submission. But we did see his last fight. He looked amazing in the first round, getting back control on Brendan Allen and just gassing out. I think end of the third or fourth round, just he gave up on the stool, which I don't really like to see from a fighter if I'm going to pick them, of them just giving up on the stool. But Renier is kind of one dimensional. Like he does have some powerful strikes, like his body knees are nasty, but I mean he's really not great with his hands, not the best defense. But well, if it does go to the ground, DeRitter is going to have an advantage. But I think Kyle will be fine, and I think you'll be able to stuff the takedowns of DeRitter. So I'm going to take Kyle Brawler here, just because RDR quit on the stool. He does have the grappling advantage, but that's his only path to victory, I believe. So I think Borello is going to blend the better shots on the feet and going to stay defensively sound on the ground. So give me Kyle Borello in this matchup. I'm probably going to lean maybe a knockout, but I think a decision. Kyle Borello does have a few decision wins. So give me Kyle Borello in this matchup. Then for the main event, this is a great main event. Charles Oliveira taking on Max Holloway. Max Holloway, you know what you're gonna get with him. Great striker, good pace, good cardio, has fought the best of the best, and you know he's gonna fight and he's not gonna give up on himself. Charles Oliveira, you know exactly what you're gonna get with him too. He is a war. It's like a car crash. If he finishes you, he finishes you, and if you finish him, you finish him. He has been finished quite a bit in his career. 5 by knockout, 4 by submission. But Oliveira looked amazing against Gamrot, just absolutely ragdolling him on the floor and in the striking. Gamrot was landing a few shots, but when it came to the grappling, Gamrot stood no chance and just got choked out in the second round. And Gamrot is a high-level wrestler. We have seen him fight Beneil Dariush. He beat Arman Sarukian, which is an amazing, amazing win. That was like 4 years ago, but still. And I think Oliveira is going to be able to get I think Oliveira is going to grapple in this matchup, and if I think he does, I think he can win this fight. I just don't. I just hope he does not just want to stay on the feet just because it's for the BMF belt, because then he's going to lose. But if Oliveira fights smart, gets the fight to the ground, clinches, trips, I think he's going to win this fight. And I could definitely see him submitting Holloway. We have seen Holloway submitted against Dustin Poirier, although that was his like first fight in the UFC. But I think Oliveira's gonna fight smart. He's gonna go for the takedowns, clinch, very nice knees and elbows in the clinch. So that's why I'm gonna lean Charles Oliveira in this matchup. I think he is the better mixed martial artist, and that is why I'm gonna pick him. But it could definitely go Max Holloway's way, just piece him up on feet, maybe even knock out Charles Oliveira. But I'm gonna go with the side of Charles Oliveira. I'm very excited for this matchup. So give me Charles Oliveira in this matchup. I think he's gonna get a submission, I'll say, if he wins this fight. So give me Charles Oliveira by submission. These are my UFC 326 full card predictions and breakdowns. If you guys agree or disagree, let me know in the comments. But thank you for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe.